Welcome to the Create Your Own Character project. The goal of this recording is to just get you oriented so that you can go build your own things. Right off the bat, a lot of this code you've seen before because it comes directly from the exercises you did in the rigging lesson. So I'll scroll down. Notice we have a snowman model comprised of 3 shapes right now. And let's say we want our snowman to get a job, so he needs a tie. Tie means we need a new arbitrary shape, which means we need a new object in this array. So I'll add that right below our hat object. And I'm pasting an object I created to save time. I basically just copied our hat, changed the name, and changed the vertices that make up that shape. So let's imagine now you start from scratch and you create 20 or 30 objects to make your character, and we want to start connecting things. So I'll scroll down, and here is our connection array and our deformer array. So right off the bat, let's say we want our tie to blow in the wind later when we're animating it. So I'm going to add a rotate deformer to the tie. The name of our object is really important. I just pointed at tie, and if you noticed on the right-hand side, we have a deformer slider which is generated automatically for you, and there's magic below that makes that happen, as you see here. It makes it really easy to test things, and as you can see right now, there's a problem. Our tie is not rotating about the right origin point. And notice I didn't really look at the origin point. I had just used the one from the hat, which is not correct. I want it to pivot about his chin, so I'll have to move this origin point down. Let's see how this looks. Much better. And finally, we haven't attached that tie to anything, so let's see what happens if I move that body. Uh-oh. We don't want that. We have to stick the tie to our character. So I'll do that in our connections array. And you can use single or double quotes here, by the way. Both will work. I've connected the head to the tie, and now watch what happens. There we go. Okay, so a lot of the work you'll do will involve making shapes and then attaching deformers that you need and then figuring out all the connections. And once you have that, there's one little extra feature I want to show you that we've added here. We've added the subdivide operation as a function you can call. And if you don't know what subdivision is, go check out the character modeling lesson. And I'll show you very quickly what it does here. So let's take the hat, for example. Inside the hat object, I can add something new called subdivide. And it will take a number, such as 1, 2, 3, or 4. And that's how many subdivisions we're adding. So there's 1, 2, there's 3. Look, we have a nice little baller hat now. He's definitely going to get that job. So this subdivision function, again, you can go down below to explore it. It smooths the shapes for you, which is very fun. So that's all I want to show you in terms of the shapes and the connections. So now I'll scroll down. And below that, we have our deformers. And again, you've seen these deformers before. They're all held now inside a large object called deformer data. And then we have each deformer as an object within. So we have translate x, y, we have scale, and you've written these before. For example, there's our translate y where you're subtracting the value from coordinates. And here's our scale function that you also figured out in the exercise. The only thing new here, and it's related to the sliders that are being generated, is there's a min and max for each deformer. And let me show you what I mean. Notice this rotate tie deformer goes from minus 180 to 180. And let's go find our rotation function. Here's our rotation function. And notice the min max is set to minus 180 to 180. And when you're building new deformers, for example, you might want to change what your min and max values are, whatever is appropriate. And let me do an example. Let's change these to 80. And now my rotation will be limited. Look. And aside from min max, we also have value for some deformers. So see here, for scale Y, the value is 1. And this is just the identity value or the initial value it's given when you attach that deformer. So that's the end of the deformers there. If you want to create new deformers, you just add them below rotate. Finally, there is the world your character lives in you want to draw. Right now, it's a blue day with some snow on the ground, and that can be changed here and function for drawing the background. I'll change the color really quickly. Ooh, have a nice gradient here, and he's in a pit of lava now. So you can do whatever you want here and just rebuild the world your character lives in. And if you want to learn more about drawing, check out the drawing lesson on Khan Academy. Finally, the main code below, you can ignore this, but for advanced programmers, if you want to know more about the magic going on behind the scenes here, just scroll down and you can learn. It's mostly code related to the UI, generating those nodes, those sliders, and a few other pieces of magic going on down there, such as the subdivision function. But if you're just here starting out and you want to create a character, you can ignore everything else aside from what I just covered. Lastly, how do you save and submit your project so other people can see? Well, your first step is to just modify this program in any way. For example, I'm going to go to the top and just change the radius of the body some amount. Now it's really big. There we go. When you do that, the spin-off button will be available for you right below this snowman, right below this canvas. You will need to click that spin-off button, and that will save a copy of this base code to your user profile on Khan Academy, and then you build it from there. And when you save whatever you're working on, that will appear below this program under spin-offs, and that's where you can see everyone else's work, and that's where your work will show up too. So have fun.